Prince Harry and Prince William have been linked together in the press since they were quite young. The untimely and traumatic death of their mother, Princess Diana, simultaneously drew them closer while also driving them apart. Today, Prince Harry and Prince William seem to have a very strained relationship, with Harry mentioning that his relationship with his brother has had its ups and its downs. Let's discuss the relationship between these two brothers. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle both gave interviews during their visit to South Africa. In Harry's interview, he mentioned that his relationship with his brother was strained. He said, "Inevitably, stuff happens, but we're brothers, we'll always be brothers. We certainly are on different paths at the moment. I will always be there for him, and as I know, he'll always be there for me. We don't see each other as much as we used to because we're so busy, but I love him dearly." Obviously, these two brothers are not your normal brothers. In the royal family, they never were equals, and they never could be equals. William is in direct line to be king. Harry, as the second-born child of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, his life path was not as laid out as William's. Harry had a lot more space to make mistakes. He had more space to get lost. And he also had more space to be himself. We know that Prince Harry struggled in school. He's been very open about struggling with mental health issues. I think that Harry was always rebelling in some way. It could have been unresolved anger and grief over his mother's death, and then possibly anger toward the entire institution of the royal family. Getting married and starting a family certainly did help Harry to ground himself. However, his wife, Duchess Meghan, also has a bit of a rebellious streak when it comes to the royal family. The two of them are quite set on paving their own path as a couple within the royal family, and as it seems right now, they may be trying to create a path outside of the royal family. And this inevitably has caused some rift between Harry and William. It has been reported that Harry and William first started to have issues when Meghan Markle entered the scene. Royal reporter Katie Nicholl suggested that William told Harry to slow the courting down, but Harry obviously did not heed that advice. Quite possibly, this was the beginning of their feud. Of course, there were various reports of Meghan being insufferable during her wedding planning and even making Duchess Kate cry. And I'm not sure how true those things are. You never know. But it does seem that after the wedding, the couples were quite cold with each other. There was this moment at Christmas in 2018 when William allegedly snubbed and ignored Meghan. And then there's also the couple's decision to separate their offices and charities, and Harry and Meghan's decision to move out of Kensington Palace. Now, this was the official notice of their decision to separate their charitable foundations. Quote, "The Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex has today announced the conclusions of a review into its structure and how it will best support their Royal Highnesses with the future charitable activity. Later this year, the Royal Foundation will become the principal charitable and philanthropic vehicle for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex will establish their own new charitable foundation with transitional operating support from the Royal Foundation. In addition, both couples will continue to work together on projects in the future, including on the foundation's mental health program, Heads Together." Now, I personally think that this was less about arguing and more about differences in their visions for their charities. As we see now, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have created their own Sussex Foundation called Sussex Royal. And I do believe that if they had continued to work together, it would have caused more drama between the brothers. Both of the couples are just on different paths, and I think that splitting up professionally was a natural result of that. Now, Harry and Meghan have certainly been bucking tradition lately, especially with their recent decision to leave the royal family as senior members. Let's think about this from a professional standpoint and from a personal standpoint. Professionally, Meghan and Harry just quit their responsibilities. Now, I'm not arguing whether it was right for them to do that or wrong for them to do that. I'm just stating the facts. They quit their job. And the tricky bit is, This isn't a normal job where you can go and hire a replacement. It's not like the Queen is going to go post a job description on the website. This is a job that cannot be filled. You cannot go and hire another couple of senior royals. It just doesn't happen. So now we have Prince Andrew, who is no longer a working royal. And we also have Harry and Meghan, who are also not working royals. And all this has happened in the span of a couple of months. And we have no replacements coming for those positions until Prince George and his siblings reach the appropriate age. And that is over a decade from now. So in that span of time, any member of the current group of working royals could pass away, could fall ill, or could retire from their duties. So all of the work, all of the charities, and all of the things that Harry and Meghan were doing will now presumably fall onto the current group of working royals. And I'd say that William probably isn't too happy about that. Think about if you had a job and two of your coworkers just up and left and there was no way of finding a replacement. And so now you had to do double or triple the work with the same amount of time that you had before while you're trying to raise a normal family and maintain a marriage and all of these other things. I am sure that William is not happy about it. Now we have the actual personal issues. Now, these are still brothers. They are blood. They bonded over being born into this royal family life together. They have known nothing else. So now one brother is saying, peace out, I'm done, catch you later. So it is a rejection of sorts. It's saying to your brother, I'm kind of done with you and I'm moving on and I am creating a life on a new continent. And that emotionally, it has to stir up even a little bit of resentment and jealousy for William, because possibly in his life there have been times where he felt like his responsibilities were too overwhelming and his relationship was suffering and he just wanted out of it. But William cannot leave the way that Harry is leaving. William can't do it. His duty is so strong just because of the order in which he was born. Nothing more, nothing less. So that has to be very hard to deal with. The fact that his brother can just do whatever he wants with his life and William doesn't have that freedom. He never had that freedom and he really never will have that freedom. Him making that choice would be a complete upheaval of the royal family as we know it. It would be disastrous. So he knows that he's stuck. And while William may feel for his brother as a brother, he must also represent the crown as a future sovereign. His role is to protect the legacy of the royal family, which is in complete contrast to Harry's desire to break away and be more progressive. This is a dance between modernity and tradition that will certainly be an issue for the brothers in the years to come, probably for their entire lives. That being said, they will always be brothers. They will always have the bond of being born into royalty and also having the shared trauma of their mother's death. Whatever issues they have, hopefully will be worked out in time. Let me know what you think about the feud between these two brothers, and I will talk to you soon.